Hey guys, how's it going? SleepingHollow here, and finally we're back after 3 months, back with another video. This is one I wanted to make for a long time, but I've been having a few issues with the Blender and the add-ons and all that, but I finally got it all sorted out. So now we can jump into two of my favorite add-ons ever made for Blender. And the reason I'm putting these two together, if you don't know what these add-ons are, HardOps and Boxcutter, they're made by the team with MasterXeons. And I'll put a link to his YouTube channel below because there's lots of great videos about these tools that go more in depth than what I'm going to show you, and I'll also show you guys the documentation that comes with these two add-ons. But yeah, they're made by the same people, so they honestly go hand in hand with each other. So because we're reviewing two add-ons at once, it's gonna be a little more basic than my other videos. But I think just seeing the basics of what they can do, you can really expand on these procedures and make all kinds of cool hard surface projects with these. So let's just jump right into it. So now here, this is a basic startup, just a cube. Now one of the best and simple things you can do is when you hit Q, you have this, little browser and you have all kinds of options here. But the first thing I have to do is C sharpen. And what that does is add a bevel to it. So if we go into edit mode, you can see it's a modifier, the bevel modifier. And so I didn't have to do anything. If we go into the modifiers tab, you can see it's right here. But one of the great things about this is I don't have to use this side at all. Actually, if you open up the HardOps, the HOps helper, you can see right here we have the modifiers, so I can add any modifier I want right here. I can edit the stack, do whatever I have to do, and I can do anything else to this cube, change the materials. All right here, I never have to go to this side. And that's one of the greatest things because I can just open up this, I can do whatever I have to do to it. You can work on destructive or non-destructive. Most people prefer non-destructive because you can always just change the things, and you'll see as we go on with this demo. As with this review, you can see I can always just change any of these. Or, well, not any of these, but you'll see I can, with the non-destructive workflow, you can really just edit anything you don't like. And it's just fantastic. So here we're just going to quickly we'll do something. So here we go. And then let's go. So this is just basic modeling, right? And let's say I want to mirror this. Again, we're not going to go over here. We're actually going to just do it from here. I don't even have to use that helper actually, just with Q, mirror. And you have three different options. I can't personally go in depth if see here modifier, the bisect, and the symmetry option, I can't really go in depth in explaining the difference between these two. You'd have to read the documentation, but personally, just because of how it's worked out for me, I like to use either modifier or bisect, but for this one I'll use bisect. So go ahead and hit the side you want to mirror, and there we go. So if we go in edit mode, you can see it's mirrored. It's right here. Alright, so the next thing we can do is we can go ahead and let's just add another cube here. I'm going to make it smaller, move it up over here. Alright, so now here we have a cube, and let's say we want to cut this part out of our main cube. So with this one selected, we'll shift, select this next one, hit control, and then the minus on the numpad. Ooh, okay, so the reason we're having an issue here is obviously because it's mirrored. It's kind of having an issue, but if we get out of the mirrored, or out of the zone of the mirror, there we go. Okay. And again, because this is live, this is non-destructive, I can always just move it around, move this cube. So let's say I want to bevel this, and then go ahead and bring this down like this. Nope, not one. Grab these two, actually, bring it down. There we go. So yeah, it's live. I can move this wherever I want on these, and it works. So now what we want to do is, let's go ahead and do that again. So let's go ahead and just add another one. And this time I'm going to do something a little different with this. So we'll bring it to this side, like right here. Do the same thing. And now what we can do is, having this cube selected, we can go ahead and hit Q, and let's go thicken. And you can see what it's doing is it's pretty much thickening the cube and setting a little cut. So now we have this cool little cut between these two. So alright, you can see the benefit to being able to perform things like this. And again, if we go to the main one, you can see they're all right here, they're all stacked. You can always edit whatever, move them around however you want. Or you can always do it here. They're all there. So this is basically the prime example of the beginnings of what HardOps can do. In HardOps, you have all kinds of things. You can step it, This is applying lots of the things. If we go to mesh tools, you can see you can clean up, you can do all kinds of things, symmetry. You can have an auto unwrap. It's right here. Yeah, if you're having some problems, you can try cleaning up the mesh. So this is like pretty much what you'd see me using HardOps for. So let me quickly let's go open up a new one. So here's a Glock I'm currently working on. Now if we click on this slider and go into edit mode, you can see there's nothing here. It's just the basic shape of what the slider looks like. But if we go back, you can see all these cuts. And another cool thing about HardOps, actually, if we can, right here, you can see what it does is it creates a new collection with just containing the cuts. So if we go to that one, here we go. These are all the cuts I've used so far on this project. So if we go to both of them, you can see where they are. So like right here, you can see I have a small thicken. So if I move this, so like you can see with bigger projects, what this non-destructive workflow lets you do is you can always just go back and change something, and you don't have to apply anything until you're absolutely sure you're happy with where it is. So down here, you can see I can move this up if I wanted to. Like if I wanted it like that instead, I can do that. And like, yeah, you don't have to worry about the base mesh being destroyed or anything. It's all non-destructive. You do it until you're happy, and then you can go ahead and apply it and continue doing your work. So with that being said, let's jump back to our original one. And now that we're back with our original, let me go ahead and show you Boxcutter. Now Boxcutter is pretty much doing what we did with these other cubes, but doing it in a really quick way. So here, let's say we're just going to draw. Boom. And then we can go down here. Let's cut this. Boom. There we go. And you can see up here, again, cutters. If we go to that one, let's unhide everything. There they are. And again, non-destructive. I can always just move these around wherever I want them. And here's another cool thing. So we have this cutter selected. And we're actually going to, let's go ahead and select this. You can even cut cutters themselves. So you can really just honestly dive deep. And if you hit D, you have a few selections. You can basically draw something with N gone as a cutter. We can go ahead and do a circle. So let's, make sure you have it selected or it's going to create a new one. Oh, what is, okay. Hold on. Okay, sorry for the jump cut. For some reason, there was like some error that popped up that kind of ruined the whole thing. So I'm just going to try to get it back to where it was, and now let's jump into Boxcutter. Circle. Try to get it. There we go. Okay, now it's working. So you can see, you can really just do whatever you want. So let's draw an end gun here, so we can just go boom, 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 boom. Oh no, that didn't work. Okay, there we go. So you can see it's like slapped on there. Hit E to extrude like you would anything else, and then confirm that by just clicking. So this is the very basics of what Boxcutter can do. So if we go down here and hit tab, we basically make it live. So now we can use these little points to kind of change it around, so you get exactly what you want. And then like if we hit Z, you can see it creates this. I don't quite remember what they called it, but it's basically like making the part inside it smaller. So you can see we can click back and forth. I guess in setting. There we go. It says right down there. It's in setting it. And then yeah. And then we hit T and we can control the size of that inset. So then we go ahead and double click and there we go. And then the original one still stays the one you had, so we can just do this. Now what we can do is we can make this live, hit D, and we have some options here. We can make an array, solidify it, bevel it, mirror it. We have some options, so let's go ahead and add an array, and then we can just kind of, actually this might have been a little too big, but you can still see how it works. So do it here, and there we go. Here, rate it. We have what we want to have. I don't use Boxcutter just as much as I use HardOps for what I do, but you can still see the use of it. Like, again, if you go to MasterXeons videos, he does crazy stuff with both these add-ons. It's really cool. I'm just basically showing you the the very, very basic. Now you can see we're kind of having some issues because of how thick these bevels are. So we can change that. But basically, most of the models I make, I use HardOps. Like, it's just such a time saver. So let me jump. Actually, we'll leave this. Go to my USP. This whole thing, HardOps. Like to get, you started with this really thick one to make this little like intersection right here. Simply modeled the shape I wanted, and then just use HardOps to cut it out. You know, use the array modifier. Just made one of these, arrayed it all the way across, mirrored it, and then applied the mirror once I was done. But you can see all this. It was all HardOps. I just use HardOps for everything because it honestly is just such a powerful tool. So again, not diving too deep into it. Again, there's so much you can do with both these add-ons. I didn't want to make this video too long. I'll link the documentation so you can take a look at it. Link MasterXeons videos so you can check those out. But if you haven't heard of these two add-ons, I highly suggest looking into them because they honestly are just such a time saver. So that would pretty much do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully it won't take 3 months. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.